Why did Jarvis Landry's locker get moved to the other side of the locker room?
We don't know that.
We do know that. We do.
No, we don't know why they got.
Him and Jarvis Landry weren't getting along.
Oh, but why?
Because Odell Beckham was demanding the ball. Every time he was on the field, he was Baker Mayfield. You look at what Baker Mayfield did.
First of all, they got along swimmingly. They're friends.
Baker Mayfield, what he did on the field without Odell Beckham this weekend shows you that he doesn't need OBJ.
Oh, right. Nick Chubb only ran for 150 yards.
But it's always been a running back tight end.
It was a running back game. Right. And Jarvis Landry was the number one guy.
He's not the number one guy.
He is the number one
guy. Well, he is now.
I love Landry, but Odell's more talented than Landry is.
Really? What makes him more talented than Landry?
He's a better route runner. I think he's got better hands, and he's
Landry,
faster.
If you look at Landry's numbers in the last 2 or 3 years, they're better than Odell.
Him and Baker get along better.
Oh, so that's the answer.
Well, yes.
Yeah, but hold on. Odell, I think Landry is playing better right now, but Odell is the more talented receiver.
How do you figure?
He's just a head,
what?
head case
How
right
do you
now.
figure that? I mean, we've seen Landry led the league in
Landry's
receptions.
no slouch, so let's not act like.
But what makes Odell Beckham better than Landry?
Because to me, this whole notion that Odell's fallen off a cliff.
Who's had a better career?
Odell.
No.
Odell.
No, Jarvis Landry's had a better career. We could look
He's
that up.
He's the fastest to 5,000 yards. He's the fastest to.
Let's go look that up.
500 receptions, I believe he was. Odell.
But go ahead, because you guys
shatter everything.
Your guys' problem is you don't speak up, and when you guys do speak, you speak for a second, and then you stop, and then somebody's got to take over the speaking. So who's going to speak? You can say what you want to say, and then I'm going to take it. Stop cutting me off. Go ahead, Beef.
No, this is what Tyler was saying.
Okay.
I just think OBJ is the more talented receiver.
Okay, so
I don't know what his numbers are compared to Landry's. I don't know what's the better numbers right now.
I'm gonna bring him up right now.
All right, you do Odell.
I'm sure Landry has better numbers right now, probably in the last 2 years, than Odell's had.
Well, the last 2 years, yes, because Odell's dealt with a lot of injuries. I think he only played 7 games last year, and the year before was the year he had that first initial injury. I want to say week 10 of that season. So, yeah, the last 2 years definitely is Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis Landry's always been pretty consistent.
Jarvis Landry has 221 more yards caught. He has 35 touchdowns to Odell Beckham's 51. Okay?
Career?
Yeah, career.
Okay.
Okay. Jarvis has played in 116 games. Odell Beckham's played in like 90. Okay, so
yeah,
well, it's 90 because he didn't play the full game, but 90 games. So Odell Beckham can't say.
But who do you think is the more talented receiver?
Talent, Odell. Consistency, Landry.
I don't know if you could say that Odell Beckham is more talented because they both are very good with their hands. They both catch a lot of balls. Actually, Jarvis Landry doesn't drop the ball like Odell Beckham. So what does a wide receiver do? He catches the ball, okay? Odell Beckham, the last 2 or 3 years, he's dropped the ball more than half the wide receivers in the league in the last couple of years.
His catch percentages have regressed the last 3 years.
So
55.6.
Jarvis Landry's a better catcher. So to me, when you look at wide receivers at the position and the way they play, Jarvis Landry catches the ball better. So who would I rather on my team? The guy that catches the ball or the guy that drops the ball? I'm going to take the guy that catches the ball. Now, as far as speed is concerned, he might be a little bit faster than Jarvis Landry, not by much. Jarvis Landry is very fast. Okay,
Jarvis is no slouch at all. Jarvis is a top 15 receiver in the league.
I'm just saying we look at his numbers. I mean, catching wise,
better route runner.
Odell's a better route runner.
Odell's a top 5 route runner.
What does that mean? If you're running routes and you can't catch the ball, okay, that you could be the best route runner in the league. If you can't catch the ball, it doesn't matter. So who cares if he can run routes? I'll tell you a bunch of wide receivers that can run routes that don't get touchdowns, that don't catch the ball. It don't matter if they're great route runners.
I don't think Stefon Diggs has had a touchdown.
Jamison Crowder is one of the best route runners in football. He's one of the best in football. Is he one of the best wide receivers in football?
Well, no, because his route tree's more limited.
That's not what I'm saying, Speedy. Stop making excuses.
You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback throwing the ball either.
Oh, give me a
break.
break.
But Jamison Crowder is a limited guy with short routes in comparison to deep routes. Odell can run a lot of different types of routes. He's just not as consistent.
Why are the players chanting Mike White?
That doesn't matter.
No, but it does.
No,
it
doesn't.
does.
No,
There's a problem.
Trust me. First of all, if you listen to what Zach Wilson, now we'll get into the Jets in a little while because Zach Wilson spoke today, and he has no worry about him losing his job. None. Okay, so who cares what the fans are doing, what the players are doing? Because in the long run, Mike White is not winning that job. Everybody knows that.
That's fine.
Everybody
I'm not
knows
saying that.
So,
I'm not saying Mike White will win the
but
job.
anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Odell Beckham right now.
No, this is ridiculous.
No, what's the ridiculous
Because
about
it does. Everyone looks at Odell's numbers and he's fallen off. He
is.
He has not. He's still getting open. The problem is Baker Mayfield didn't hit him. Whether he overthrew him, underthrew him, or didn't throw him at all. Odell Beckham Jr. on the Rams, everyone's going to go, oh, my God. Wow, McVay's a genius. He found the special sauce. There's no special sauce. Odell Beckham Jr. is just Odell Beckham Jr.
And what happens?
That's what.
And what happens if Odell Beckham goes to the Rams
Right.
and he's not what you say he's going to be? What are you going to say then?
I think Cooper Kupp is a better.
You're going to blame that on Sean McVay?
No, I'm not. But what do you mean by he's not what I say?
You're saying that he's going to go over there, he's going to find the magic sauce, he's going to get Odell Beckham back to what he was with the Giants. And if he doesn't do that, what happens then? What are you going to say then? You're going to make excuses for Odell?
I don't see it not working. I don't.
I do. Because there are things that you have to watch. Odell Beckham demands the ball.
They all demand the ball.
Matthew Stafford is a quarterback that is not like Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield in the huddle will tell you he is a very strong personality. We've seen this before. But even with his strong personality, we heard that him and Odell was forcing him to throw him the ball. That's why. Just hold on. Let me speak because you guys, I gave you a chance to speak, and you guys, you don't flow. You guys wait. You say a couple of things, and you don't finish up what you're going to say. So let me say something, and then you guys can, spit out your jib, okay? What I'm saying right now, if Odell Beckham goes over there with the Rams, with Cooper Kupp and Woods, and then obviously Henderson, who's a good with a good running back, and they have a great offensive line, and they're supposed to work on all. They're supposed to be prolific and work on all cylinders with a Matthew Stafford as your quarterback. Matthew Stafford is not a strong personality. He never was, and now he's going to a team that has Odell Beckham. Now, Cooper Kupp isn't a strong personality, but Sean McVay is. What happens if Sean McVay says, throw the ball to Beckham, don't worry about Kupp, don't worry about this guy, don't worry about that guy, and Odell Beckham starts a stir in that locker room. It causes problems in that locker room, which we've seen before. If he's not getting the ball enough, he's not seeing the ball enough. What's going to happen then if that happens when this team is a playoff-bound team right now and one of the best teams in the NFC, and all of a sudden – barely slips into the playoffs the way we expect them to go full strength in the playoffs and fall off early in the playoffs. What happens then?
I think that's highly unlikely, but if it does happen, then there's a problem.
For who? Is it Odell Beckham?
No, there's a problem then. I don't see that happening because Odell and Von Miller have been very close friends from the beginning. When he was in New York and he was in Denver, they got along swimmingly. That's why there was actually a rumor for a little bit that Von Miller might be a Giant, but obviously that never happened. Then he went to Cleveland with Jarvis, and that blew up pretty bad. But I think there was a couple different things, because Odell and Jarvis are better now from what they're saying.
That's not what I'm hearing.
And him and Baker were very close. They would hang out all the time. They'd go to dinner together. They'd
sounds like it when Baker
together.
Talks. Talks, because what Baker said after the game.
Baker's hurt.
That's fine, but if you heard what Baker said after the game that they won just this week against the Bengals, he said,
I wish him well. Right.
I wish him well. Listen, our team is playing on all cylinders. Odell Beckham or no Odell Beckham, we're still going to play at a high-flying pace. So,
but what? He's
by
the leader of the team.
By the way, Carl says, does Jefferson now take a back seat in playing time?
Of course.
Yes,
of course, yeah.
Drop him on your fantasy team now.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Drop him right now.
Because Jefferson never fully developed really until this recent stretch, and then there was a stretch last year when Kupp was hurt that he played well. It's only small samples for him so far, so yeah, I think
drop Van Jefferson now. Pick up another wide receiver.
Van Jefferson might be good in terms of a long-term option if it's because he has 2 more years on the rookie contract. Because there's no guarantee he resigns with the Rams, Odell, and Robert Woods. He's not having a great year, and he's getting older too, so he might be good long-term, but definitely not short-term this year.
They might trade Robert Woods and keep Odell Beckham Jr. next
year. It depends on how they play, though, because Woods knows the system.
How about you, Beeve? What are your thoughts from all of the stuff that we were just saying?
There's going to be problems in LA because he's going to He's going to take away receptions from Cooper Kupp, and he's going to get mad, and it's just cause more problems in L.A.
Yeah, forget
I
two
don't.
huge names.
First of all, I think it's you're right now. It's 10 games into the season. It's week 10.
And it's a new offense.
It's a new offense, so you're not gonna see a lot of Odell Beckham this week. You're not, because he's got to understand the offense. But here's the reason why it might not happen. You have Aaron Donald, who's in the locker room, very strong personality. Von Miller, who's a very strong personality. He was a leader over there with the Broncos. And then you have Jalen Ramsey, who's a big mouth. And trust me, you want to talk about a guy. First of all, they're going to have some good fun when they're practicing with Odell Beckham. Ramsey's going to love it because he's going to have a chance to stop Odell. He's going to have a chance to stop Cooper Kupp. And you listen to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp says one of the main reasons why he is the player he is today is because every day he gets to play against Jalen Ramsey.
Best corner in football.
He's one of them. I don't think he is, but I think he's one.
And Cooper Kupp's a better receiver than Odell.
What are you upset?
You're insane.
I don't think he's the best corner in football.
No, not you. Him.
What?
How is he? He's not a better receiver than Odell right now? Yes, he is.
He's having a better season.
Is,
he's
yes.
not more talented than
No,
Odell.
talent-wise, I wouldn't say that. But
I didn't say talent-wise. I said
who's a better route runner? Cooper Kupp.
No, I don't think.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp is the best
Cooper
route runner.
Kupp's always been a good route
Diggs
runner.
He is. No. Cooper Kupp right now is the best route runner in
I'm
football.
going to go Diggs.
Okay.
I'm going to go Diggs.
I
Even
beg
so,
to differ.
Cooper Kupp's a top route runner, and that's never been his weakness in his career. It took him a while to develop as a deep threat.
I mean, watching all the analysts, when I did watch him, I've watched a couple of the games live. Every single analyst, I mean, Troy Aikman said it. Joe Buck has said it. We heard Ian Eagle say it. Ian Eagle say that he's the best route runner in football.
So he's a slightly better route runner.
He's a better route runner. Is he faster than Odell? I don't know. I don't think he is. I think he's got better hands than OBJ. He doesn't drop the ball.
Numbers than OBJ too. Go look at his numbers.
Oh, he's not, dude. He has the best numbers right now in football when it comes to wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying. So
best wide receiver in football.
Tyler said he's not better than OBJ right now.
Talent-wise, I don't think he is.
I mean,
he's having a better season.
All around talent, probably not. But who would you rather on your team right now? If you go through a list of wide receivers right now in the NFL and you put Odell Beckham in the top 10 with Cooper Kupp, every single one of these coaches and owners, if they had a choice between any one of the top 10, they would probably take Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver in football right now. He averages 15 yards a catch.
I understand.
And now he's getting the touchdowns, too, which was always a weakness in his career.
10, I think he's 10 or 11
this
touchdowns.
year, yes.
He's going to have close to 20 touchdowns by the end of the season. There's still 8 games left.
I understand. I'm not saying he's not having the best season for a wide receiver. He is. But I'm not. I really don't think Odell's fallen off. I think this whole Odell's hit a cliff thing.
He's 29 years old.
So?
Okay? And by the way, if I had my choice of any wide receivers, I'd take Denzel Mims, Jeff says. Thank you, Jeff.
Maybe the Rams, if he had him, would use Denzel Mims.
I'm sure the Rams were one of the teams.
I'm telling you right now, there's a team on the TV right now that's probably kicking themselves in the ass.
Ravens, yeah.
I'm sure the Rams are one of the teams that called up the Jets reaching out for Denzel.
I believe
Mims.
it. Yeah.
I believe it.
They need an affordable. They need an affordable player like that.
There were 7 teams that called up the Jets for Denzel Mims, and for some reason the Jets said he's not available.
I think Mims also was drafted a couple picks before Van Jefferson too.
Yes.
So I'm sure they wanted him at the time.
A
bigger bodied guy.
I think Denzel Mims is a guy that a lot of teams are going to want. But Carl says I always viewed Kupp and Thielen in the same breath, but this season Kupp has the distance. He's distanced himself as a big time player.
Thielen's
caught a lot of touchdowns too, though. But yeah, I would agree with that.
Biggest reason.
What was that, Tyler?
Matt Stafford. He's the biggest reason Cooper Kupp's now having the year he's having.
Well, also
to an extent, yeah.
Sean McVay's offense, and
but that offense has been there.
Yeah, but
but they also had other receivers taking those kinds of roles in previous years too, where they had Sammy Watkins, they had Brandon Cooks, they had guys that were more overall well-rounded and talented.
I think he's growing up as a player,
where they were taking those deep.
Sure,
threats.
he's gotten better, but to go.
How old is Cooper Kupp? 25.
Yeah,
he's still young.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not disagreeing with you. He's definitely gotten better with every passing year. But you went from a above average quarterback in Jared Goff to a superstar.
Above average? I mean, he's having a pretty good season on the Lions.
No, I get that. But he's not, in the realm of quarterback, he's not the elite.
Well, if you remember, 2 years ago,
when he went to the Super
they
Bowl.
went to the Super Bowl. No, but the last 2 years, he's amongst the top 10 in yards, touchdowns per catch. I mean, Jared Goff wasn't a bad quarterback. I hated Jared Goff. I never liked him.
I didn't say he was bad.
But
Say he's above
Jared
average.
Goff was amongst the best in the league